Hi, my name is Dr. Steve Connolly and I am the Deputy Head of School for Education and Social Care with responsibility for postgraduate education courses. Our MA and MA Education with pathways are really excellent postgraduate courses for people who want to develop their expertise, skills and knowledge in education. We have a number of different courses which are all titled MA Education or MA Education with something else. And in this case, that something else can be special educational needs and disabilities, early childhood, leadership and management, or Montessori. Now, the point of these different pathways is to allow people to specialise in the area of education that they are most interested in and is going to be most useful for their future career development. We also obviously have MA Education, which is a general education course where people can develop whatever interest they like within the broader field of education at a postgraduate level. The MA Education courses are structured so that everybody does a specialist module, which depends upon their chosen pathway, and then has a number of other modules which are common to all the MA Education courses. And these common modules include research methods modules and a postgraduate major project, which everyone has to do in order to achieve a master's degree. And that's where you do your own research into an area of your interest, which will usually be related to whichever specialism or pathway you've chosen through MA Education. That course structure allows for maximum flexibility and allows you to pursue the interests or area of education that is important to you and important to your career development. We have a really diverse range of people applying for the MA Education and Education with courses. We see a lot of teachers applying, of course, who are looking to do an MA to improve their job prospects or to improve their employability. But we also have quite a wide range of people from other backgrounds who come and study with us on our MA Education courses. For example, educators from other fields, so health educators or educators within the armed or uniformed services, for example. We also see quite a lot of people who are interested in being academic researchers and are using the master's degrees as a way of moving on towards further research or study or doing a PhD or perhaps an education doctorate. And it's really important to say that one of the main reasons why people will join us on the MA is about their future career and their future employability. So for some people who are joining us, they are teachers and they want to develop a specialism, perhaps in something like special educational needs and disabilities, or perhaps they want to take on leadership roles within their school or college, which is why they're doing the MA Education with Leadership and Management. And it's really important to understand that the great strength of the MA Education courses is that they offer a lot of possibilities in terms of your future employment, both within the broad field of education, but also in other areas. People applying to the MA Education courses often have a number of questions about the way the course is run and how it works. Quite a common question, for example, is how many hours a week of lectures will I have as an MA student? Well, depending upon the route you take, whether or not you're part-time or full-time, most students will have between 3 and 5 hours of lectures a week with some tutorials with academic staff on top of that. It's really important to understand that many of our students are working while they're undertaking their course. And in fact, actually, if you're working in an education setting of some kind, this can be a real advantage in helping you study because it gives you a context within which to put the things that you learn. So working alongside your course is fine, particularly for part-time students who are already working in an education setting. And if you're a full-time student, you should be encouraged to do some kind of work, particularly in an education setting alongside that as well. People sometimes ask us whether or not the master's courses qualify you to be a teacher in this country. They do not. If you want to be a qualified teacher in the UK, you have to undertake a course that grants you qualified teacher status. And the MA doesn't do that. However, the MA course is still a really valuable qualification in terms of your professional development as a teacher or an educator. If you have been away from study for quite a long time, perhaps you're returning to study after a number of years, it's really good to know that the university provides a lot of help with that. We have a lot of online help for students who are returning and perhaps haven't done any writing at master's level before, or perhaps haven't done any writing in a while. And it's really important to understand as well that the tutorial help from staff teaching on the MA will also be of use to you here. Another question that students often ask when they're applying for the MA in education is what we'd suggest as a reading or prior work for when you join the course. It's really helpful if you can do a little bit of volunteering in an education setting if you don't work in one already, because that gives you a good sense of the kind of issues and needs that affect learners, whatever their age. And that's really helpful when you come to think about the way that learning happens and how we research it, which are two really important things that we study on the MA courses. Sometimes the other thing that people ask us is how people will know if it's the right course for them. One of the things that we'd say to anybody applying for the course is to think and ask yourself two questions. So firstly, do you have a real interest in education and the way that learning happens? Do you want to know more about this? And secondly, do you see yourself in a job or role in the future in which education and learning might be important to that role? If you can answer those two questions, the MA education courses are probably for you. If you'd like to apply for any of the MA education courses, please visit the ARU website where you can find more information. And if you'd like to talk about the course or ask any more questions, you can email me at the address on the screen. We have two entry for Masters Education courses. We take people in both September and January. So there's bound to be an entry deadline that's close to when you want to apply. Thank you for watching this video and taking an interest in the Masters Education courses at ARU. I look forward to meeting you soon, hopefully.